Back with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Special guest coming up on today's show. I had a chance to catch up with Canada of Brewed Awakenings in Avoca. I'm very impressed with this young lady, and Brewed Awakenings is doing something very special this week. They are taking all of their tips, everything that you give to them in tip form, and they're donating all of it to the Charlie's Angels Foundation. And what that means is they're putting their money where their mouth is with this, because chances are you were going to leave them some type of tip anyway. So add a little bit extra to it, and every dime of those tips is going to the Charlie's Angels Foundation. So Bella will be on momentarily to tell us a little bit more about it. When I was talking with Bella, I was just so impressed with her entrepreneur spirit that she has, and it got me thinking about folks that maybe haven't stepped out. They've had a dream of some sort and been thinking about doing a type of business but haven't done it yet. I'm going to tell you a quick story that I was, it's been a number of years ago now, and I had the opportunity to sit and talk with my grandfather just a few days before he passed, and he knew that the time was coming very, very soon. And I asked him about anything that, I said, was there anything that you wish that you had done or hadn't done? And the only thing that he mentioned was that he was in the Air Force during World War II, and he said that he wished that he'd gone back to Italy again to see it. He said, it's not really a regret, it's just something that I wish that I did. But I also know that people at the end of their lives don't regret things they did, they regret things they didn't do. And I would encourage you that if you have a dream of some sort, whether it be an entrepreneur, just a side hustle or whatever, give it a shot. Get out there and give it a try, because the absolute worst that can happen is you're right back where you are today. So give it a shot. See how it goes. And I know that that's why this show exists, because we're just going to give it a try and see how it goes. We're doing something a little bit different here with putting a show together this way. There's not many that exist like this. Yeah, podcasts exist, but to do a show in small market form like we are, and giving a voice to some of the folks that live in the smaller communities around our part of the state of Iowa, and that's not something you see a lot of, but they are out there. And I know that my friend Sheila Jenkinson over in Nebraska doing the same thing with the Small Town Nebraska podcast, the Growing Small Town Nebraska podcast. And she's talking with a lot of folks as well in these smaller communities. And I talked with Bella about what's going on in Avoca, but this is true for a lot of different communities around Southwest Iowa, that they're being proactive, and they are putting things together to create growth. I know that we had Donna Dostal from the Community Foundation for Western Iowa on last week, and she talked about the grant from the Charles E. Lakin Foundation that's designed to try and help with the housing situation that we have in all the smaller communities. Our part of the world, housing is tight, and things are happening, and people are trying to do things to create more housing available at all levels. Some traditional housing, some have to do with lower income housing and that kind of thing, but we need all of it. And what that tells me is that people want to live where we are, obviously, because anytime a home comes up for sale or for rent or apartment for rent, it's getting snapped up right away. So we need to be able to create more of these areas while still maintaining our community identities. And as I talked with community leaders in different parts around the state, that's what's happening, that they are maintaining their identity while still looking ahead to growth. And it's been very impressive to watch these kind of things, and I hope to bring you more stories here on the Local Roots Show. Coming up on May 17th, it is the NAMI Walks event. Have you got your team together yet? You know that you can do that at NAMIWalks.org. And I'm going to be emceeing the event. It'll be held at River's Edge Park in Council Bluffs. And I made the promise that any business that came on as a sponsor for NAMI Walks was going to get a month of free advertising here on the show. And Mid-States Bank of Neola took advantage of that. They are contributing to NAMI Walks, and Mid-States Bank of Neola is a community bank dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service through tailored banking experiences innovative products, and highly trained employees. And as a community bank, the hard-earned money that you deposit with them works even harder. They reinvest it back in the communities in which you live. So it could be that corner coffee shop, or maybe a new apartment complex, or maybe even a large farm operation. They're going to help build and sustain Western Iowa. So thank you to Mid-States Bank of Neola for being a part of NAMI Walks, and very grateful for the work that you're putting in. Castle and Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're in Trainer, they're in Council Bluffs, and then across the river in Bellevue and in Elkhorn, Nebraska. They are local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call today for your free quote. Also, do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network helps you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place can be critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care at home in Glenwood, Red Oak, Clarinda, Council Bluffs, all the surrounding communities. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. Joining us this morning, it is Bella Canada. She is with the Brewed Awakenings in Avoca. Bella, thank you so much for your time, and also congratulations on all the success that you're having there. I keep hearing great things about Brewed Awakenings.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Let's talk beginning with your location and your business that you have there. How far back does this go? Where did the idea come from in the process of getting there?
Well, we opened up at the end of August. We got the building in the middle of August. I think our turnaround was something that we all put a lot of hours in. I mean, we had the building 10 days before we initially opened. So, I mean, we had a very quick turnaround when we got it, but it was a coffee shop before we had it. So it was a coffee shop for, I think, about 2 years. I mean, I went here when I was in high school still. So as a customer, so it's crazy to be on the other side. It's not where I thought I'd be, but you know, it was never really in the plan book for this to happen. It just kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say fell into our lap, but we saw an opportunity, and my mom kind of asked me about it, and my plans definitely changed for college. So I decided might as well give it a shot, and now here we are. So
back when you were going there in high school, zero interest in it? It was never on your radar at all?
I mean, I've always loved coffee. I've always loved making coffee. I've been very passionate about that for a very long time. I didn't think I'd be running a coffee shop in Iowa by any means. So for that to happen is kind of out of left field, I'd say.
Coffee shop in Iowa. That's interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I've never planned to stay around here for long. So being here is, I mean, obviously different than what I anticipated for myself, but I feel like it's where I'm supposed to be. So I've always found myself more drawn to the western side of the United States, mountains and all that good jazz out there. So
you're preaching to the choir, sister.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of getting up in the mountains and hiking. And for me, I don't know if it's the elevation, if it's the smell of the pine or whatever, but the way I describe it is my soul feels lighter when I take a vacation.
And the coffee tastes better.
And the coffee tastes better. That is awesome. But tell me about the response that you've had from the community and from the surrounding area for Brewed Awakenings.
I mean, it's been incredible. Like, I think I've built something I'm super proud of, and I want to keep building on that. But the support I felt from the community, how graceful that they are, like even with when we mess up, like we try to be quick to fix it, and they always respond very, very well, and they're quick to forgive and come back in, and we want to make it right, and they're very responding to that, and they keep coming back. So I love to see that. But their support is amazing. It's not something you can recreate in a lot of places, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we talk about that on the show quite a bit, that there's something about the smaller communities, especially in Southwest Iowa, that they support each other, and
Yeah.
you can tell and you can feel that without even any specific thing happening. It's just an energy that you can feel.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me about from when you opened until now. Is there things that you've learned along the way, along this journey, that are helping you as you continue on?
I mean, absolutely. I think, well, I mean, just finding my footing as somebody who's running a business is, I mean, no small feat. Like, you don't, I mean, I don't think you can really understand the experience until being in it.
That's
Um,
very true.
but I think one of my biggest things that's helped me through it all is, I mean, my mom's my sounding board. Like, so she's done this once already, so she's made a very good business for herself. So then having her to bounce off of, support me here, help me when I need like something to work on, ideas. Like, we're very good about communicating, I feel, and just using her as a sounding board of like my problems, how I need to do better, and just how she did it. So
It is one. There's one thing about being able to have a love for making coffee and to doing that kind of thing. But what you're doing is running a business, and that's different. And yeah, the coffee part is still a part of it,
yeah,
but it's the business end of it. There's commonalities that are running through every single business that's out there. So regardless of what it is, there's things that you have to know and things that you have to do the same. And I'm sure it's a big learning curve for you, and
yeah,
you're just kind of learning as you go.
yes, absolutely. I mean, you can, you know, you're never fully done learning. You know, like my mom's still learning. She's been doing it for a while. Obviously, I'm still learning. I'm still just getting my footing. Like, I mean, um, I'm not where I want to be, and hopefully, I'll never be where I want to be because I'm always looking to be better and make everything better and better product, better. However, we can make it better is what we're trying to do.
It sounds that you're giving your mom a lot of the credit for where this desire came from and where this passion came from. That just from the entrepreneur side.
Yep. Yeah.
It's good to have folks like that in your corner, and it's good to know that if something pops up, and it could be not even you don't have any information, but maybe sometimes you just need confirmation of, hey, this is what I think, and is this the way that I need to go with this? And wow, what a great gift that you have there to be able to lean on that. I mean, that's
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes. It's a very, very good tool to have that I'm very grateful to have.
You also are doing something special this week. Why don't you tell folks about it?
Yeah, we're doing something pretty exciting. We're donating all of our tips to the Charlie's Angels Memorial Foundation. So any tips that come in between, I mean, when this airs and to Saturday, May 3rd, they're not going to us. They're going to a great foundation that I love.
Wow, what a great thing to be able to do, because that's a huge part about business too. Is yeah, you need to support the business and support the people that are working for you, but also supporting your community in any way that you can. And it
Yes,
sounds like
yeah,
you really found you found a place to be able to put that.
yep, yep. I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I get to do, so where I can impact others. I try to do this with kindness and love. So where I can give back, I definitely try to.
What's coming up for you this year? What are some of the things that you're hoping to be able to achieve with the Brewed Awakenings in 2025?
Oh, only time will tell, I guess. But um, I don't know. I mean, I say my mom's my sounding board, but we just wing it. That's our when we're talking at home, you just gotta wing it. So, one of my favorite things that we're trying to make work out right now is the coffee flights. I don't know if you've seen anything about that, but it's like 4 miniature coffees. Like, if you think of like beer or cider, like how you can get 4 samples of a beer. It's the same aspect as that, just with coffee, caffeination rather.
Yeah.
But it's something that I love doing, and I'm trying to make that work. So we have events on Saturday, like on a Saturday or something. But we're always good about posting that on Facebook, and so
Well, tell me a little bit about your product. Sing some praises about some of the different things that you can provide for your customers.
um, Well, I mean, our coffee, I try to keep it as real as I can. Like, I mean, with our house specials menu, you'll see one of them. It's all real ingredients. So it's the honeybee latte. It's real cinnamon. It's real brown sugar. It's real honey. We use like rather than buying the syrups. I think there's some unnecessary things that don't need to be in it, and it's better and more, I guess, farm to table that way, if you would. But I love seeing that. I think you get a lot more of especially with the honey. I think just having that and then the texture from the brown sugar. I love doing that. Our blueberry latte, it's actually a homemade syrup. I make it myself.
Really?
Yes. It's not the original syrup we started out with, but it's definitely something that I knew I wanted to have the blueberry on the menu, and I knew I wanted to change it because it wasn't my favorite off the menu by any means, but the new blueberry, I think it's so much better. It's just, I mean, I think it doesn't get enough credit in my opinion. So, and then off of our spring menu, I would say it caught a lot of us off guard with how popular it's been, but it's also, I sing its praises all the time, is the cinnamon roll cold brew. It's just a vanilla cold brew with, I guess, like a cinnamon roll cold foam on top, but all of our cold foam's made in-house. That's another thing that I think it's one of my favorite parts about. I make the cold foam, or one of my gals do here. So I think it's really awesome to see that in the response that we get from it.
You've kind of hinted at it a couple of times, but you're a boss, and you have people working for you there,
Yes.
which again is a completely different dynamic. And for a young person to dive into this and to fully accept all of the different parts of business, I'm telling you, that just gets me going. I am a huge fan of folks stepping out on their own, chasing a dream, learning as they go, which you've mentioned several times with this, because that's a huge part. Pivoting with, all right, we were trying to do it this way. We need to make some adjustments and do it that way. You're learning all of these lessons. I'm telling you, Bella, it's really, really encouraging. And I think that other young people that are out there should look at you as for an inspiration. And I know that's not a question, but still, it's I'm incredibly thrilled that you are doing what you're doing there.
Yeah, I think, well, one of the craziest dynamics to me is, I mean, I have 3 people that work here, and 2 of them are older than me. So I mean, being a boss to older people, it's kind of different, but I think it makes a very good dynamic. I mean, these aren't just my employees, they're my friends, so it's really awesome to have that bond that I have with my employees. I wouldn't be where I am without them. They carry me just as much as I can carry them at times. So it's really awesome to be able to lean on them.
You're still fairly new in this journey. Do you have long-term goals of things that you want to achieve?
We want to keep, I think one thing that, I wouldn't say we lack, but we're definitely working on would be, our food options. That's definitely something we want to keep building, keep progressing on. So I think that's probably going to be our main focus in the next, upcoming while. So, but once we get that rolling and get more consistent at that and get better at that, I think then who knows? Then the world probably.
Well, and also being in the community of Avoca, and it's been a strong community for going back as far as I can remember. I first moved to Southwest Iowa in the late '90s, and back when it was just AHST. Playing
Yeah.
back that before Walnut was added to it, but it's a great place, I think, to live. And yeah, you're not unique in a young person wanting to spread their wings and go out and go someplace else and then end up coming back. You're just back earlier
Yeah,
than
back
probably
earlier.
that you intended. But yeah, Colorado or Wyoming or Arizona or New Mexico or wherever it is out there in the western part of the country you like to go to is great for vacations too. So
Yes.
yeah, that's the way that I do it. But I'm thrilled that the success that you're having so far. Let's get your contact information out there, the website, social media. Where can people find you?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, which is just Brewed Awakening, and then Avoca Iowa, I think is the I'll have to look at my phone to see what our Instagram is. I'm not very good about keeping the Instagram updated. I'm trying to do better at that. So
It's a process. It's
it is. Yes.
you just keep plugging along.
The handle for that is brewedawakening.ia. No caps, no spaces or anything like that. But then I think most of our information's on Facebook. And then on Google, you can look us up, Brewed Awakening at Avoca again. So,
And hours you're open?
yeah. So Monday through Friday we're open from 6:30 to 2, and then Saturdays we're open from 8 to noon.
That is Brewed Awakenings, and that's Bella Canada. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being an inspiration to so many people. And I know that you're just beginning on this journey, but that's just part of it. And I'm excited to see where you go. So stay in touch and keep us updated, will you?
Yeah.
Great conversation with Bella, and I know we're going to be hearing big things from her as the days, weeks, months, and years continue to go by. Congratulations on all the success you've had so far, Bella, and congratulations on what's still to come. I'm looking forward to watching. The latest episode of Circle of Trades is out. It features Micah Myers from Airs and Airs, and it is hosted by Travis Waldstein of Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning and Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs. So if you have a leak, clogged drain, or if you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. Fast, reliable service, expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. Waldstein Plumbing is locally owned, and they take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing and visit them online at waldsteinplumbing.com. Well, we've reached the end of the show on Tuesday. I've got a busy day. We've got a lot of interviews to do today. Going to be on the show coming up throughout the week this week. And if you know of someone that you feel has a good story and you'd like to see them featured here on Local Roots, send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. I'd love to be able to talk to them. And also, we're going to be webcasting live this Thursday from the Council Bluffs Farmers Market. They're kicking things off on May 1st, and I'm partnering with Kyle at Tailslate Agency to bring live webcasts from there, going on about 4:15 up until the point at 4:30. They send a young person running down the street with a cowbell ringing it that it says, okay, it's all right to start selling your wares. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's out there on Thursday. Early on in the farmers market is always a lot of fun. And then as all the vegetables become ripe and make it out there just all season long, seems to be that whatever week the farmers market is, that's my favorite week. So that's starting again on Monday. And you can watch us live on Facebook. Just follow Lust Hills Media and Podcast, and you'll be able to keep track of that. So that is coming up, and I understand we're going to be talking with a soccer coach. Did you know that there is a semi-pro soccer team in Council Bluffs? They're called the CB Captains, and we're going to have their coach on. They had their first game last Saturday. They took on Worthington up. That's just across the border in Minnesota, not very far up from Okoboji, and they played to a 1-1 draw. So that gets them points in the standings, and they've got a home match coming up this Saturday. They're going to be playing at Lewis Central High School field, and they'll be taking on Garwo. That is out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So there is soccer going on in Council Bluffs. This is pretty high-quality soccer, too. They are semi-pro, and they're really, really good. So encourage you to come on out and join them. Join us. I'm going to be there doing the stadium announcing at that, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And you can follow them on social media. Just look up CB Captains and you'll find them. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here again tomorrow morning.